Bawat buwan ay may rhythm. May simula, may gitna at may katapusan. At ang karamihan ng tao ay hindi nakakaalam na ang huling 3 araw ng bawat buwan ay may extraordinary na kahalagahan. Ang 3 araw na ito ay ang critical transition period kung saan ang lahat ng effort, momentum at energy na na-accumulate mo sa buong buwan ay either mako-consolidate para sa continued growth o mawawala at ma-reset pabalik sa zero. Isipin mo ito. Gumugol ka ng 27 araw o higit pa na nagtatrabaho, nagsusumikap at nagtatry na mag-improve. Ngunit kung hindi mo properly na ma-close ang buwan, kung hindi mo ma-harvest ang accumulated energy, ang lahat ng progress na yon ay susceptible sa pagkawala. At magsistart ka ulit ng susunod na buwan mula sa pareho o mababang level. Hindi ito superstition. Ito ay based sa understanding ng how human psychology works, kung paano ang cycles affect our behavior, at kung paano ang conscious closing practices ay preserving at compounding ang gains. Maligayang pagdating sa Inner Mind Espanyol. Ako ang iyong gabay sa paglalakbay na ito, kung saan ituturo ko sa iyo kung bakit ang huling 3 araw ng buwan ay critical at kung ano exactly ang dapat mong gawin sa panahong ito para ma-preserve at ma-amplify ang positive energy at progress na na-accumulate mo. Bago tayo magpatuloy, importante na maintindihan mo ang framework ng discussion na ito. Ang mga concepts ay rooted sa behavioral psychology, cycle-based productivity research at principles ng conscious transition practices. Hindi tayo nagsasalita ng literal na mystical energy na nawawala. Nagsasalita tayo ng psychological at practical patterns na kung hindi properly addressed ay leading sa loss of momentum, motivation at tangible progress. Ang mga resulta ay maaaring mag-iba depende sa individual circumstances at consistency ng practice. Ang video na ito ay pang-edukasyon lamang at hindi pamalit sa professional advice. Kung handa ka ng matutunan kung paano properly i-close ang bawat buwan at i-preserve ang iyong accumulated progress, isulat mo sa mga komento ang pariralang sinasara ko ang aking buwan with intention at gratitude. Ang declaration na ito ay iyong commitment. Simulan na natin. Hayaan mong ikwento ko sa iyo ang kwento ni Daniela na isang 42 taong gulang na entrepreneur mula sa Quezon City. Si Daniela ay nagpapatakbo ng small na consulting business. Matalino siya, masipag at driven, ngunit may peculiar na pattern sa kanyang business at personal life na frustrating para sa kanya. Ang pattern ay ganito: mag-start ang buwan na may enthusiasm at determination, magtrabaho ng hard sa first 2 weeks, makakita ng progress sa third week, tapos sa last week ng buwan parang nawawala ang momentum. By the time na mag-start ang bagong buwan, parang back to square one. Ang gains ng previous month ay hindi nag-stick. Hindi lang sa business, same pattern sa health goals, same pattern sa savings, same pattern sa personal development efforts. Progress then reset, progress then reset. Ang cycle ay repeating endlessly. Isang araw, nag-attend siya ng retreat para sa entrepreneurs. Ang facilitator ay discussing ng concept ng monthly closing practices. Ang idea ay simple pero profound. Sinabi ng facilitator na ang karamihan ng tao ay treating months as arbitrary calendar divisions. Nagsisimula, nag-i-effort. Tapos pagdating ng last days ay either coasting or already mentally moving to next month. Walang conscious closure, walang harvesting of gains, walang setting of foundation para sa continuation. Ang result ay ang momentum at progress ay not being consolidated. Every new month ay feeling like starting over rather than building on previous month. Ang facilitator ay introducing ng concept ng sacred last 3 days. Ang 3-day period bago mag-end ang buwan na specifically dedicated sa closing, consolidating at preparing. Intrigued si Daniela. Decided niyang itry for 3 consecutive months. Ang transformation ay noticeable by second month. Ang pattern of reset ay breaking. Ang progress ay starting to compound rather than evaporate. By 6th month, ang business revenue ay notably higher. Ang personal goals ay showing sustained progress rather than cycles of up and down. Sinasabi ni Daniela na ang biggest shift ay not any specific technique but ang simple recognition na monthly endings matter. Ang conscious attention sa transition period ay creating continuity na dati ay absent. Ito ang ituturo ko sa iyo ngayon, ang complete protocol para sa huling 3 araw ng buwan. Una, let's understand kung bakit ang monthly endings ay particularly significant psychologically. Ang human brain ay naturally attracted sa beginnings, ang new year, ang first day of month, ang Monday. May documented na phenomenon called fresh start effect kung saan motivation ay spiking at beginnings. Maraming research about this. But there's corresponding less discussed phenomenon, ang ending neglect, ang tendency na devalue endings at simply let them pass without attention. Ang last days of month ay often characterized by mental checking out, premature shifting of focus to next period at failure to consolidate. Ang problem ay this creates discontinuity. Ang gains ng one period ay not properly transferred to next period. Ang lessons ay not integrated. Ang momentum ay not preserved. Ang conscious closing practice ay countering this natural tendency. By deliberately attending to endings, ikaw ay creating bridge between periods rather than gap. Additionally, ang last 3 days ay providing opportunity for important psychological processes. Reflection na helping integrate experiences. Gratitude na elevating emotional state. Intention setting na providing direction. Release na clearing baggage. Without conscious closing, these processes ay either not happening or happening haphazardly. With conscious closing, they happen deliberately at powerfully. Ngayon, ibabahagi ko ang specific protocol para sa bawat isa sa huling 3 araw ng buwan. Ang day 1 ng closing period ay tinatawag kong reflection at review day. Ito ay 3 days before end of month. Ang purpose ng day na ito ay honest assessment ng buwan na matatapos, not judgment. Assessment. What happened? What worked? What didn't? What did I learn? Ang specific practices para sa day na ito ay ang mga sumusunod. Ang unang practice ay ang monthly review session na taking ng approximately 30 to 45 minutes. Find quiet space, have journal o notebook ready. Go through the month systematically. Review ang calendar. What were major events at activities? What did you spend your time on? Review ang finances. What came in? What went out? Any notable patterns? Review ang goals. What were your intentions at start of month? How much progress? What blocked progress, if any? Review ang relationships. How were interactions with key people? Any growth or strain? Review ang health. How did you treat your body? Energy levels? Habits? Write honest assessment para sa each area, not long essays. Simple bullet points na capturing truth. Ang ikalawang practice ay ang win documentation na taking ng approximately 15 minutes. Specifically, list down ang lahat ng wins ng buwan regardless of size. Got project done? Write it. Made healthy choice? Write it. Handled difficult situation well? Write it. Ang tendency ay to forget wins at remember failures. This practice ay countering that bias. By documenting wins explicitly, ikaw ay training brain na recognize positive patterns. Ang ikatlong practice ay ang lesson extraction na taking ng approximately 15 minutes. For each challenge o failure ng buwan, explicitly extract the lesson. What would you do differently? What did you learn? How will this inform future action? Ang failures na walang extracted lessons ay wasted failures. Ang failures na may lessons ay investments in future success. Ang pang-apat na practice ay ang unfinished business inventory na taking ng approximately 10 minutes. List down lahat ng unfinished tasks, commitments at intentions from the month, not to stress about them, but to acknowledge clearly. This creates clarity about what needs attention or release. Ang day 2 ng closing period ay tinatawag kong gratitude at release day. Ito ay 2 days before end of month. Ang purpose ng day na ito ay emotional processing, appreciating what was good, releasing what was difficult, clearing emotional space for new month. Ang specific practices para sa day na ito ay ang mga sumusunod. Ang unang practice ay ang deep gratitude session na taking ng approximately 20 to 30 minutes. This goes beyond simple gratitude list. For each major area of life, express genuine heartfelt gratitude para sa specific things from the month. Grateful for income received. Grateful for health maintained. Grateful for relationships that supported you. Grateful for lessons learned even from difficulties. Grateful for simple pleasures experienced. Write gratitude statements in detail. Not just grateful for family, but grateful na si ganito ay supporting me during ganyan. Specific at personal, speak some gratitudes aloud. Ang verbal expression ay amplifying emotional impact. Ang ikalawang practice ay ang release ritual na taking ng approximately 20 minutes. Identify what needs releasing from the month. Resentments na holding, disappointments na carrying, regrets na dwelling on, expectations na not met. Write each on separate small paper. For each explicitly state na I release this. I am not carrying this to new month. Physically dispose of papers. Tearing at throwing away, or safely burning kung possible. Ang physical action ay making release tangible. Ang ikatlong practice ay ang forgiveness work na taking ng approximately 15 minutes. Explicitly forgive anyone who wronged you during the month, including yourself. Forgiveness ay not approval. Forgiveness ay releasing yourself from burden of carrying resentment. Write simple statements. I forgive ganito for ganyan. I forgive myself for ganito. Ang pang-apat na practice ay ang completion conversations na taking ng varying time. If there are relationships na may unresolved tension from the month, consider reaching out para sa closure. Simple message of appreciation. Brief conversation to clear air. Not elaborate reconciliation necessarily, pero enough to not carry heaviness forward. Ang day 3 ng closing period ay tinatawag kong preparation at intention day. Ito ay last day of month. Ang purpose ng day na ito ay forward-looking, setting up next month for success, creating clear intentions, preparing practically. Ang specific practices para sa day na ito ay ang mga sumusunod. Ang unang practice ay ang next month vision na taking ng approximately 20 minutes. Without getting into detailed planning, simply envision how you want next month to feel at look. What's the overall theme? What's the priority? What's the energy you want to carry? Write brief vision statement para sa upcoming month, one paragraph capturing essence. Ang ikalawang practice ay ang intention setting na taking ng approximately 20 minutes. Set 3 to 5 clear intentions for next month. Not exhaustive to-do list. High-level intentions na guiding direction. For each intention, write why it matters at how you'll know if achieved. Post intentions somewhere visible. They should be present throughout coming month. Ang ikatlong practice ay ang practical preparation na taking ng approximately 30 minutes. Address practical matters na setting up next month. Organize workspace. Clear clutter na accumulated. Review calendar at schedule key priorities. Prepare materials needed. Ang physical act ng preparing space ay psychological act ng preparing self. Ang pang-apat na practice ay ang closing ceremony na taking ng approximately 10 to 15 minutes. End the day at month with brief ceremony. Light candle kung desired. Read aloud your review wins lessons, gratitude releases at intentions. Make verbal declaration. I am closing this month with gratitude at intention. I am entering new month prepared at open to abundance. Sit in silence briefly. Acknowledge transition. Ngayon, ibabahagi ko ang additional principles na mag-maximize ng effectiveness ng 3-day closing. Ang unang principle ay ang protection of time. Ang closing period ay requiring protected time, not squeezed into busy schedule, deliberately carved out. If necessary, reduce other commitments during these 3 days. Ang investment ay paying dividends throughout entire next month. Ang ikalawang principle ay ang honesty over positivity. Ang review should be honest, not falsely positive. If month was difficult, acknowledge it. If you failed in areas, acknowledge it. Ang false positivity ay preventing real learning. Ang honest assessment ay enabling genuine growth. Ang ikatlong principle ay ang written over mental. Ang practices should be written, not just thought. Ang writing ay externalizing at making concrete. Thoughts ay fleeting. Written words ay permanent at reviewable. Ang pang-apat na principle ay ang ritual over routine. Approach the 3 days as sacred ritual, not mechanical routine. Ang attitude matters. If doing practices begrudgingly benefits ay reduced. If doing with reverence at intention benefits ay amplified. Ang ikalimang principle ay ang consistency over intensity. Better to do moderate version every month than intense version occasionally. Ang monthly rhythm ay building over time. Miss 1 month and momentum decreases. Consistency compounds. Ngayon, ibabahagi ko ang common mistakes na dapat iwasan. Ang unang mistake ay ang skipping when busy. Ang temptation ay to skip closing practice when month end ay coinciding with busy period. This is exactly when closing is most needed. Find abbreviated version kung necessary pero don't skip entirely. Ang ikalawang mistake ay ang surface level engagement. Going through motions without genuine reflection ay providing minimal benefit. Engage deeply, even if briefly. Quality over quantity. Ang ikatlong mistake ay ang over-focus on negative. While honest assessment ay important, dwelling on negatives ay counterproductive. Balance. Acknowledge difficulties then move to gratitude at forward focus. Ang pang-apat na mistake ay ang unrealistic intentions. Setting too many or too ambitious intentions for next month ay setting up for failure. 3 to 5 focused intentions ay better than 20 scattered ones. Ang ikalimang mistake ay ang no review of previous closing. Each month begin by briefly reviewing previous month's closing materials. Did intentions manifest? What evolved? This creates continuity between months. Ang ika-anim na mistake ay ang isolation of practice. If possible, share practice with partner, friend, o accountability group. Shared closing ay more powerful. Mutual support ay strengthening commitment. Si Daniela na binanggit ko sa simula ay now 4 years into monthly closing practice. Ito ay became non-negotiable part of her rhythm. Every month, without fail, ang last 3 days ay protected for closing. Ang transformation ay beyond what she expected. Ang business ay grown significantly. Pero more importantly, ang quality of life ay improved. Less stress despite more success. More presence. More gratitude. More intentionality. Sinasabi niya na ang biggest insight ay this. Before she was living month to month in disconnected way, each month floating separately. Now months are connected links in chain. Progress compounds. Lessons accumulate. Momentum builds. May deeper truth na gusto kong i-share bago tayo magtapos. Ang monthly closing ay not really about preserving magical energy. Ito ay about psychological continuity, about learning from experience, about gratitude for what was, about intentionality for what will be. Karamihan ng tao ay living unconsciously month to month. Things happen, time passes, pero walang integration, walang learning, walang deliberate direction. Ang closing practice ay antidote to this unconscious living. Ito ay forcing pause, forcing reflection, forcing intention. At in doing so, transforming random sequence of months into meaningful journey of growth. Ang energy na preserved ay not mystical force but psychological momentum. Ang discipline built, ang confidence gained, ang lessons learned, ang direction clarified. These are preserved through conscious closing. Ang warning sa title using Perderás Ang Energía ay dramatic pero pointing to real phenomenon. Without conscious closure, ang gains are vulnerable. Ang momentum dissipates, ang lessons fade, ang intentions scatter. With conscious closure, ang gains are secured. Ang momentum transfers, ang lessons integrate, ang intentions guide. Ang invitation ko sa iyo ay this. Kung ang buwan ay malapit ng matapos, start implementing the 3-day closing immediately. Kung malayo pa ang end of month, mark your calendar now para sa upcoming closing period. Commit to at least 6 consecutive months ng practice para fair trial. Track the difference in how months connect at how progress compounds. Kung ang video na ito ng Inner Mind Espanyol ay nagbigay sa iyo ng valuable framework at protocol, hinihiling ko na i-like mo ito at i-share sa mga friends at family na maaaring benefit sa monthly closing practice. Mag-subscribe sa channel at i-activate ang notification bell para hindi ka mahuli sa mga susunod na videos tungkol sa intentional living at conscious practices. Isulat mo sa mga komento kung kailan ang next end of month at kung committed ka sa implementing the 3-day closing. Gusto kong marinig ang iyong commitment at eventually ang iyong transformation. Salamat sa pagbibigay ng iyong precious time sa Inner Mind Espanyol ngayong araw. Nawa ang bawat pagtatapos ng buwan ay maging powerful foundation para sa increasingly abundant at successful months ahead. Magkita tayo sa susunod na video.